Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today, jointly presented by Canpango, Five9, and Salesforce. We're going to highlight the advantages and empowering capabilities of a unified integrated platform with Salesforce Service Cloud and Five9. To help me co-host today is Kelly McMillan and Lisa Langford from Five9 and Aldo Ramirez from Salesforce. So thank you all for being here today. I'll be keeping an eye on the Q&A chat window, so if you have any questions as the webinar goes along, please don't hesitate to use that. We'll also leave some time at the end to address any questions if there's any remaining, so don't be shy. We'll also be posting a recording of today's webinar on Campango's YouTube page and distributing it to Five9 and Salesforce as well, so keep an eye out for some follow-up with that link. All right, let's get started here. Once again, my name is Jared Tunn. I'm channel manager at Canpango for the Intelisys channel. What we're going to cover today is your customer's success, the Canpango and Intelisys engagement model, the Canpango difference, talking Canpango to clients and identifying opportunities, and highlight some additional resources for you. Obviously, today we have a focus on Service Cloud, so we're going to highlight some case studies and stories that help illustrate the power of that platform. We want to start off by telling you a story, and this is one about a project sourced by one of our Intelisys partners last year in Texas that's actually still ongoing. We were engaged by this partner because one of their customers, who is America's largest homeowners association management company, one that specializes in property management and community management nationwide. This is a huge company. They have 5 million homes or units under their management. And we were engaged because they had significant customer service issues, including their lead management capabilities and their outbound contact capabilities. And this one's interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was truly competitive process with Salesforce and a CCaaS supplier, which we'll keep unnamed for now, being one of 3 different submissions that were in the running. It's also interesting because the reason why we ultimately won out of those 3, and it's due to the Salesforce platform being the only one that had a native connectability, that open API to the CRM in play, obviously in this case Salesforce. But also in addition to that, it's interesting because it's something that we run into a lot with the customers that we see, and that's that their sales team was already on the Salesforce platform. So it was a natural fit to keep the rest of that company on a singular platform that can handle sales, case management, marketing, customer portals, and really any other function that you can possibly imagine. With Salesforce's open APIs and their app exchange, you really can do anything. And in the end, with that CCaaS package installed, we were able to customize and connect that Service Cloud so that it's a tailored solution to meet the needs of their customer service and operations teams. And now everything they do is real time. They have great insight and reportability on their call activity. And it really allows them to increase their efficiencies when they're working with the other teams like sales and marketing. And that's the type of solutions that we provide for our customers, that pro services piece that connects all the dots together. And now specifically why we're here for you guys as sales partners in the Intelisys channel. We're here to close that gap between that 360-degree ability to provide tailored solutions for your customers. We have all these fantastic suppliers, including one of our favorites, which is Five9, and they provide their fantastic solution, and you have Salesforce's fantastic solution and a lot of back-end solutions. But we really connect all those dots and bring that all together, and it allows you to continue that level of trusted advisor that you maintain for your client. And it honestly allows you to expand your selling power into that entire C-suite, not just the CIO or head of tech. And at the end of the day, we help you make more money. And just to illustrate this engagement model and how you interact with Canpango and how we interact with the channel, you're very familiar with your own role, your end customers, Intelisys as the fantastic master agent that they are, and all the suppliers. I think we're up to almost 175 now that reside to help connect with our customers. So how do we fit in? We connect dots all over the place, and we really engage you to bring us those customers that we then partner on those engagements and those opportunities. We work with Intelisys channel managers like Corey and Heather at the appropriate opportunities, including the Intelisys SEs as well. And really, we have that that great team approach, that the end user sees that unified front. That's the term I'm looking for. So with that end user engagement, we go through a discovery process that hopefully leads to a project. Salesforce is engaged at the right time, and then they also obviously will engage with that end user for that licensing. And then we just see where the money flows. Obviously, that end user is paying for their licensing cost. They're paying for that pro serve piece for Canpango. We then pass along the partner's comp to Intelisys, and you guys are given your portion based off of your existing contracts. Again, we can go further deeper into that. Please don't ever, hesitate to contact me and reach out with further questions. We just like to illustrate how partners can make that monthly recurring revenue on that CCaaS licensing and periodic revenue with our time and materials billing from Canpango for that pro serve piece. And it really highlights the evergreen revenue opportunities there are out there with multiple phases, managed services after implementations, and the like. Why Salesforce for us, since we are a Salesforce only shop? This is something that I'll let Aldo speak to more in a little bit, and he'll do it far more informatively and eloquently than I can. But to put it in layman's terms, Salesforce is absolutely dominating the CRM game, and it's not even close. So definitely more to come on that from Aldo in a bit. And how Canpango differentiates ourselves, besides the fact that we have this incredible, partner ecosystem to work with, as a Salesforce systems integrator, which there are hundreds, if not thousands of, we take a very consultative approach to our sales and delivery process. We don't want to just provide a solution for our customers. We want to work with them and their stakeholders and see what their day-to-day activities truly look like, and make sure that we're tailoring that solution with them, not just for them. At the end of the day, that allows for higher adoption, because when you give a platform and solutions that are tailored to each specific job function and leadership, it's only going to increase that adaptability and in the end, the usability of that platform. We have now completed almost 1,000 projects. So if we've seen it, so if your customers have pain points and issues to solve, it's likely that our project teams have seen and done something similar already. So let us pull from that extensive bank of knowledge to help your end customers today. And also one last thing to touch on is the way we structure our implementations. You see all these different Salesforce products that we service, and we tailor our teams to address this. So we have certifications all over the board, and those are all across different types of job functions within our delivery teams. And you're going to get a little bit of everything assigned to each of our projects. So we have that project manager, we have that senior consultant, a business analyst, an implementation specialist that's doing that actual build out of the Salesforce org. So every project that we take on is given that specialized team with whatever certifications are needed for that particular project. And it really ends up giving that customer a very customized, tailored, high-end feel to the service that they're getting. So how do we help you and enable you to talk about Canpango and Salesforce with your clients? Well, like we're discussing today, there's a very low-hanging fruit discussion to be had with contact center opportunities. Five9 is going to highlight, their fantastic product later and how it integrates seamlessly to the Salesforce platform. So get your mind thinking about those existing contact center customers you have, or ones that you're possibly engaging as prospects for contact center deals. Think about the other products they're using, their CRM needs. Do they have shortcomings and pain points that could be addressed by CRM? And think about where there might be possibilities for engagements and to start those conversations. And then if you have questions on how to start those conversations, the types of questions to ask, that's what we're here for. Here's some things to keep an eye out for. Fragmented operations across various departments, poor visibility, terrible pipeline and lead gen management. That's a very common issue that we see. A lot of people still have not migrated to Lightning. That's a really, really key thing that to keep full functionality and all the great updates and constant improvements to the Salesforce platform. People are going to start losing out on a lot of that if they haven't migrated to Lightning. And then once again, those integrations to UCaaS, CCaaS, backend solutions, ERPs, order management systems, all of that kind of thing. That's what we're here for. And again, industries, company sizes, all types, it's all about that scope for us. Once again, we don't want to take up too much time today. We really want you to spend a lot of time on that great demo Lisa has and Salesforce's piece. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We have a bunch of qualifying questions. Once again, you guys will get this webinar copy, but please schedule some time with me. In that follow-up, I'll give you a link to my calendar if you want to schedule some time. You'll have my number. Please don't hesitate to reach out, and let's continue these conversations. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive and answer any questions you might have. Just want to finish up quick here before I toss it over to Aldo with one more case study and story for you. And this is one that's close to our hearts, and my heart especially, because this is one of the largest food pantries in the Milwaukee area, which is where Canpango is headquartered. And this one's actually 6 blocks from my house, so it's especially close to me. And they were having a ton of issues just with their intake process. They get shoppers, they have donors, they have people looking to volunteer, and there's an intake and information process that's involved with all of that. And everything was on paper. Everything was in paper boxes and filing cabinets, and you had information forms and legal forms, and if there was infants involved, there's more forms for that type of stuff. So everything was just paper dominated and just a super messy physical process. So our VP of ProServe actually tailored a solution for them that now, all of their intake is done on iPads in that Salesforce organization. And they've made that process so much more humane. Shoppers coming in now aren't just standing there and, worried about if they're going to be allowed in the shop this week, or, possibly embarrassed, or, it's just never a comfortable process going to a food bank. So it's now, you're able to add a human element to it. And there's not as much time crunch with intaking that customer's information. So you can have conversations, you can figure out who that shopper really is, and you start to create that actual relationship. And even in a food pantry, you can give a positive customer experience with the support of these tools. And Lisa's gonna, in our demo later, really illustrate how that call center piece fits into that. Contact center piece fits into that, and some great use cases to continue that conversation. So without that, I'm not gonna take any more time. Once again, please get on the phone with me. We can take a deeper dive, answer any more questions. We've got a lot of stuff on MyIntellisys, ICSU, and the like. But with that, I'm gonna pass it off to Aldo. Aldo, go ahead, and you can go ahead and start sharing your screen here and take it away.
Great, thank you, appreciate it, Jared, and thanks everybody for joining. Well, I think, thank you, Jared, for kind of that setup, and I'll weave a lot of that information and stories into kind of what I'll talk about, but I think it's important first to really talk through a bit about a Salesforce to help familiarize the group, on the call with, what we're about and kind of how we fit into this, because, to Jared's point, CRM is a critical piece of any customer support telephony solution. And I think everybody knows who Salesforce is, but I think it's important to remind folks, everything that we do, and this is where we kind of jump in with customers and let them know, the history of Salesforce, everything that we support and service our customers with, and how we continue to kind of refine that and grow that. So one of the beauties of Salesforce is we've been around since 1999 and always 100% in the cloud. Born and bred with our initial offering of Sales Cloud back in 1999, and as you can see, just continue to build on the platform year over year over year. And these are all either built directly onto the platform, so it's all one data set for our customers, or acquisitions that get integrated into the platform. So we grow by leaps and bounds. We bring in different things that make sense to support the customers with. And you'll see as you get into these conversations how deeply Salesforce is ingrained. And back to that original story that Jared told about the homeowners association company here in Dallas, they were an existing customer using our Sales Cloud, using our Marketing Cloud. We had a lot of their customer data already within our system. So expanding that into their customer service department made a lot of sense and really made that customer journey complete, from sales folks signing up that deal to marketing post-sale, to continuing to touch that customer, to servicing them, once they have, or if they have issues, to again, marketing communications after the fact to ensure they're happy and follow up. So, having this broad platform to service customers on and then inserting the telephony piece with Five9 in there really kind of completes the entire message. And one thing that I want to make sure you guys also understand is, you hear a lot about Salesforce, you see all the huge logos out there, but it's really not always about, the American Airlines and about the Southwest Airlines and AT&T's of the world. Those are great win stories, and we have those customers. We also, have the smaller customers too. If you look at the licensing, there's an essentials package that's out there that really is meant for the River West food pantries of the world, right? So anywhere from 2 to 25 employees, that's a great fit. It's really economical, and it gives them a lot of the features and functionalities they would get out of a full license. But again, as you guys can see here, the scale is there. These numbers, from 2.5 billion messages sent a day to 8.6 million cases logged a day. These are metrics that are comprised between our 150,000 customers that we have. So there's a lot of customers going in there. Again, you'll hear about all the great big giant wins, but don't you guys forget that a lot of your customers in that 5, 10, 25, 50, 100 person space are also using Salesforce, and it's a real critical component to marry the voice, the telephony into the CRM, because they're going to get a lot of benefits from that. And Lisa will show you a great demo and get to that piece of it. But I think it's good for you guys to see, again, the scale of this, but also to kind of think through, it's not just a handful of large customers, it goes across the entire broad spectrum of users, again, anywhere from the small business all the way up to the largest enterprise. So kind of transitioning from there, I think as we start to think about service in the contact centers and what are agents thinking about, these are the places that we go with conversations with customers, and I think it's important for you guys to start thinking that way as well. As the customer service environment continues to change, and again, a huge shift has just happened over the last 60 days with literally 90% plus of the contact centers going to a work at home model now, which they didn't have before. We had a great time with that because our stuff is already cloud based, so it was really just, hey, get an internet connection, get a laptop, log in, and you're back on your CRM. Telephony was a lot more of a challenge for some folks, but it was a great opportunity. But again, as you think through the agents and what they're doing and what they're thinking about, these are real stats that we get from our customers. We survey our customers every year, and we could put out a report called the Salesforce State of Service. This is 3,500 people roughly respond to this, and we collect it every year, and we publish these stats so we can inform kind of the greater service industry about what our customers are saying specifically. But if you look at it, I mean, you can see that the very large percentage of agents are looking for a different kind of role than what we think about with contact center agents, right? You think about contact center agents, you think about them sitting in a cubicle with hundreds of people there. They're taking phone calls. It's really monotonous. It's, hey, can you reset my password? Can you tell me what I owe on my bill? Can you give me the shipping address to return this item? Whatever, right? Those are really mundane activities, and agents are not looking to be there any longer. So as we start to think about what the future of customer engagement is, this is where products like Salesforce and Five9 come in to really change that and to really help the end user customer, but also to help the agents. Because if you're not thinking about the agent experience, and you're missing a critical piece of this engagement with your customer, because they're thinking about the engagement of the agents, because the turnover rate is really high. So the better that you can make the agent's experience, the better they'll make their customer's experience. So as you get in these engagements, don't be afraid to start asking about, hey, how are your agents handling customer requests today? Not just volumes, but what do they do? And again, dig deeper into the process, and you'll get a lot of really interesting information from your customers. And to kind of illustrate that, this is really kind of what we see. When you're talking to a customer service manager or a director or an agent, they're going to tell you that, hey, I really like to service customers, but it's really hard because I'm going through all these different things to try to provide an answer. When someone calls me, I'm clicking to this screen, I'm clicking to that screen, I'm opening this app, I'm going through my spreadsheet that I keep, I'm going to the online database that we have, et cetera. So, having been there and done it personally, I've sat in many call centers and saw the green screens and saw the Lotus notes or whatever the heck they've been using to try to track this information. but this is reality for a large majority of our customers. And this is where Salesforce comes in to simplify that view and make their job easier. So again, understanding the process, understanding how they're not only dealing with the phone calls coming in, but again, how they're handling the customer information and all the critical pieces that they need to service somebody is part of the conversation. That again, don't be afraid to dive into those waters, because it's going to give you some really valuable information. So we're going to show you this, but again, a quick view of it. I think it's important to see, the things that Jared talked about with River West Food Pantry came to mind again. It's like, they were using pen and paper, they were using note cards, whatever they could to have customer data. Essentially, we're going to build it into a really nice console that's customizable for the customer. This is a real broad view of everything you can put on there, and there's even more. But this has got a lot of information in there, but we customize this, by working with the customers. And this is where Canpango comes in and helps them think through what is important to you. Do you want to see the SLA that you owe this customer? Do you want to see their previous purchase history? Do you want to see all the contact you've ever had with this person and their contact information? Great, let's put it on there. And back to the original, use case that Jared walked through with the Dallas-based homeowner association company. We did this exercise. We sent over, screenshots like this with data saying, hey, what if we did this? Does this impact how your agents can handle, their calls with customers? And, we tweaked it enough so they could say, yeah, if we had these 4 pieces of data on this screen for the agents, our average handle time is going to go down by at least 60 seconds. If we reduce our average handle time by at least 60 seconds, this is our return on the investment. And it makes, the investment in the new telephony, Salesforce, and Canpango work. So that's why this is really important, because these are the tools that we're showing and we're building for customers to show them the benefit their agents are going to get once they, have a unified desktop to see all the information they want. And of course, telephony goes in here as well, right? So you can see at the very bottom left, you got phone. That little phone panel kicks up with Five9, and Lisa will show it to you, and you've got your telephony integrated as well. So again, I don't want to give away too much of what Kelly and Lisa are going to show, but I thought it was important to see that screenshot and what it means to have a unified desktop versus stuff everywhere. And then real quick, I'll end on a note that's pretty timely. So, part of the thing that Salesforce has done in the COVID-19 pandemic is to offer free software for anybody. So the package is called Salesforce Care, and what it allows is for customers to sign up for 90 days of a pre-configured Salesforce org to help them support their customers and their employees. The details are all online. It's free for anybody who wants to sign up for it. They can either try to spin it up on their own. We've got detailed instructions on how to do that. If it's really basic and really small, they probably can do it. Or this may be an opportunity to engage Canpango and have their resources help out as well. But again, it's just part of the mission for Salesforce to give back. And this is one of the ways that we did this immediately. This was launched, at the end of March. So it was done pretty quickly, and we've got 5,000 folks that have, or companies that have signed up and are using, some of our free software, either to support their customers or support their employees. So again, don't be afraid to go out there and show this as well to get your customers engaged and to show them what's available, because it's a free org with lots of features and benefits they can start to see for free. And I think with that, I will turn it over to Kelly and Lisa and let them start their portion.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aldo. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so, Aldo, honestly, I think you kind of made my transition a lot easier than I thought. You talked very well to what we do in the CCaaS space and why it's important to not only our partners selling this to our customers, but our, the agent portion of this as well. So myself and Lisa are going to deep dive into this a little bit. I'm going to talk about why Five9, how we are, what our differentiators are in this space, and how we're empowering our partners to leverage our solutions with their customers. And then Lisa will follow up with a demo that is going to show the food pantry example that we've all been talking about, and really how this integration, the Five9 and Salesforce integration, are so seamless. So, Five9 is a intelligent contact center. We're born in the cloud with no legacy on-prem equipment. We went public and we IPO'd back in 2014. And we've really seen exponential growth, not only in our historical SMB markets, but certainly in the enterprise space as well. In 2018, we brought on Rowan. He joined as our CEO and has really projected the growth platform by bringing on a world-class leadership team that supports our vision of an intelligent contact center. One of actually the leaders on his team, Ryan Camp, actually came over from Salesforce, and he helps to lead the charge in making sure that we are humanizing this experience for our customers. Another colleague of ours is Jonathan Rosenberg. He leads our AI initiative, and he's also a co-author of SIP. So he's on our leadership team as well. And one of the things that he says, which I love, is that a great contact center offer is a combination of three greats. It's a great product, it's a great uptime, and a great PS services to deliver and implement the service, right? We know that it's very important as partners when you all are dealing with your customers that really probably the highest part of that is the professional services and the uptime to ensure that the customer is having a great experience. At Five9, we do that by allowing to Aldo's point, we really want to help elevate what an agent is doing in the contact center and also ensure that your customer is able to interact with your agents and interact with the customer's organization however they see fit. Again, maybe that's via social media or chat and voice. And obviously those are things that, Lisa's going to kind of show what those integrations look like when she does her demo. But voice is still something that's very important when you have a situation where you need to call and talk to an agent. Maybe it's a delayed shipment, or in this case with River West Food Pantry, maybe it's a scenario where you need to come into the pantry, ensure that there's food available for you and your family. You're going to want to call. You maybe aren't going to want to do that and have that interaction via email and or chat. So here at Five9, another differentiator for us is that we do provision 3 lines for all of our agents. And really what that allows our agents to do is, when they're receiving or maybe they're on an inbound campaign, they can also take outbound or make outbound calls, without having to log out of their system to log back in to be able to maximize their time. We also, we're going to talk about that in just a moment when we move on. So one of the other important pieces is our partnership methodology. Obviously, customer experience and agent experience equals a good human experience. And the way we do that is with our partners. We do that from internally. We do that with our partner ecosystem, and that's all of our integrations. Five9 is a standalone CCaaS offer. And while we have made some acquisitions recently, we still choose a best of breed approach when it comes to our partner ecosystem, because we believe that it empowers our sales partners to deliver a solution specific to the customer's needs. So in this case, as you can see, obviously we have a very strong relationship with Salesforce. 40% of our integrations are actually Salesforce integrations today, with a small segment being other CRM vendors and 50% being homegrown. When it comes to UC, again, we have some very strong relationships here, but this is the ecosystem allows for a customer to be able to say, hey, I love your system, but I really want to integrate with this UC, and I really want to be able to leverage these particular features that I already have today, and we will integrate with those. We'll figure out a way to do it for our customers. One of the most recent acquisitions that we made, which is allowing us to offer somewhat of a marketplace for adapters into clients, either new applications or applications that they want to be able to leverage within their contact center, is Windu. Windu is an iPaaS software that allows us to connect to those call center applications and have visibility into real-time data streams with a graphical no-code design. So it allows us to do that without having to write code for each and every application, which can be timely. Another differentiator for Five9 is that Gartner has recognized us for 5 years in a row as a leader with regards to our high-touch, white glove approach. This is because, as you know, as partners that probably have traditionally sold into the telco space, you know, a lot of times with vendors, that when the ink is signed, then your sales team kind of is hands off and they move on to the next project. Here at Five9, that's not when the customer journey starts. And in fact, if you ask our PS team, that's almost when the customer journey begins. We have a unparalleled professional service support team. It's kind of, as Jared shared earlier, PS is really where we are finding that the experience really it's the relationship and amplifies the relationship that we have with our customers. Today, we have a third of our Five9 team that is dedicated to this leading differentiator of ours. And we understand that it's very impactful, so that we understand that in that Five9 badge employees even help to do those go lives and cutovers, as our traditional telco partners would say. And in our old normal, we would do that on site. After we signed a contract and then we went into delivery, we would go in for the first day for that cutover, and it'd be a live cutover so that we can answer any questions on the spot. And then after we transition that from sales, we would transition it to what we consider our technical account managers. And with all of those particular pieces coming together, we have achieved an NPS score of 96%, or 96, excuse me. And if you know NPS scores, you know that's a huge deal. Today, there are, you know, Tesla, I think, sits at like 94. Harley Davidson sits in the 60s, right? There are some really large brands out there that sit with, you know, medium to 100 kind of NPS scores. And we take the cake because we really believe that that is our differentiator. That's our secret sauce. So just as a quick recap where we fit, you know, again, we have an inbound and outbound blended solution. We're able to help partners or customers, excuse me, that have seasonal peaks and rapid deployments. And especially in a time like this, rapid deployments are something that we are seeing a lot of. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more here in a bit. Obviously, we have an omni-channel approach to our product set, and we sit anywhere between 50 and 100 seats. We're not a really good fit when it comes to FedRAMP opportunities, and that's about the only ones today. So let's pivot and kind of talk about our channel program. Here at Five9, we've been in the channel for about 3.5 years. And since we've grown in the channel, since we've been in the channel, we've grown by adding on team members and whatnot. And most recently, we've launched a partner portal. Within this partner portal, you are going to have access to your lead registration and being able to see, you know, the status of your customers live. And, you know, it's an answer that we are given to our partners because you guys have asked for this. So we're really excited about it. Today, you'll also be able to find information on our Fast Track program, which again is not only a response to COVID, but this is something that we can do for partners, customers, period, right? We've been engaging in this model for a while. If we understand what the need is from a customer, we can have them turned up in as quickly as 24 hours. And we do that without compromising compliance. We don't cut any corners. We still are able to provide a great solution, but just very quickly. One of the other things that I want to talk about, just kind of high level, is to let you all know that, you know, we do also have incentives in this space to help you, you know, not only to help you with your customers' journeys, right? We understand that some of our partners, they like to be on site a lot and are, again, our old normal. They like to have that customer connection, and this is a way to do that. And so today, partners, when you all register an opportunity with Five9, please do so through the lead registration link. You can find that either on my Intelisys, or you can reach out to me as your local channel manager. But the way that we handle that process is when you register an opportunity, we'll reach out and ask you, what's your engagement with the customer? How do you want to go to market with bringing the CCaaS solution to your customer? And we will do that side by side together. That's at no hidden commissions to our sales team or any of that. And we want to be as seamless in this in our sales process with you and as transparent as possible as well. Just as a quick overview of our channel team. And really one of the other pieces that's important about this slide is that here's how we break down our regions. And so if your customer is located in any other region outside of the TOLA region or Southwest region, which encompasses Texas, then you will be aligned with a local sales resource, not channel manager, but a local sales resource that'll help you, guide that customer journey along with you. And with that, Lisa, I'm going to turn this over to you to do a demo.
All righty. So, hi everybody, Lisa Langford. I'm going to walk you through a demonstration of the combined power of Salesforce, Five9, and Canpango. So I'm going to take it from three perspectives. First of all, an agent in a contact center. Then I'm going to pivot over and talk about the customer experience, because as we know, the customer experience is very important, providing that ability for the customer to get the information they need from maybe your website, but when they can't, being able to get them into Salesforce, into the contact center in one place for service. And then I'll end it with the supervisor in the contact center's perspective. So let me just move this real quick. So as an agent, I'm going to start with agent. I'm an agent, Lisa, and I'm signed in today. The great part of the experience for me is being quick, productive, not having to sign in several places. Thanks to single sign-on, I'm able to log into Salesforce and automatically log into Five9. Now you'll see Five9 sitting in the here in the console configuration. So Salesforce has Lightning and Classic. We work in both Lightning and Classic. And you may also hear of a console configuration, which is what you see here. We work and sit right here in that utility bar. And we also work in a standard layout where we sit on the left as part of the iframe. So away from the techie stuff, we install it quickly, we can be up to speed. So Salesforce, so Aldo talked about their initiative to spin up orgs, to spin up Salesforce domains for customers. We are the same way. We're cloud-based just like Salesforce. So for work for home initiatives, agents can go home, agents can log into Salesforce. Great, guess what? If they have a laptop, an internet connection, and a headset, they can also log into Five9 because both our solutions are cloud-based. So this is our adapter. So right now, as an agent, I'm logged into Five9, the Five9 contact center inside Salesforce. I'm not having to pivot. My adapter is not sitting elsewhere, hard to find. It's all in one place inside Salesforce. I can see information regarding how many calls I've taken today, and that all more important key metric, such as average handle time, to make sure I'm staying involved and keeping up with the contact center metrics. These are the queues I'm signed into. Now, you'll notice I'm signed into both inbound and outbounds. Five9 is truly a blended solution. We don't have an inbound with a bolted outbound. It's all one. So again, not having to pivot, not having to sign out of one, going into another to do outbound calls, everything's here. Now, what I'm going to do is let's pivot over and let's talk about that customer. So to sort of tie it all together with the River West Food Pantry. For River West Food Pantry, their customers are the shoppers and donors. So with a shopper, I'm coming in here, Katie Smith. I'm looking on here for information. I can see lots of great information here, but I also have ways to reach out to River West if needed. I can call them. I could have them call me now. Five9 offers a feature called Call Me Now, where you could, as a shopper or donor, you could enter your information and it would immediately queue that call up into that agent inside Salesforce. And we also support the Salesforce chat. So if you have a customer who is running Salesforce chat, we coexist and work side by side with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call in as Katie Smith because I need help because what's happened is I've gone in here. Remember, Jared talked about providing self-service. So I could check and see if I could shop. Well, I happen to have gone in and noticed that I can't shop. So I need to talk to somebody because I need help. So thank goodness, Five9 has IVR workflow capabilities. So I've created a really quick demo. I'm going to call in. You'll hear the ability to deliver proactive information, creating a consistent story on the website and in the IVR, and then quickly routing Katie to the right agent inside Salesforce. So let me make that call real quick. And what you're going to see happen here, that call's going to come in. It's going to screen pop inside Salesforce and bring up Katie's information. So let's do that.
Thank you for calling River West Food Pantry. If you are calling to confirm where to pick up food due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are allocating only from our St. Catherine location. Press 1 for volunteer opportunities in our community garden. Press 2 if you need to speak with a member of our staff.
I need to speak with someone. Good. Okay, so Katie's come in. As an agent, the first thing that I notice is this is awesome. So Katie found a match to Katie's contact record in Salesforce and automatically tied this call to Katie, which is really helpful for me as an agent because now I can immediately start helping her. On the soft phone side, very quickly, and just point out the key pieces that I think you would find interesting. Recording. We record all calls from the moment the agent answers the call to the end of a call. We capture that recording in Five9 in the cloud, and the customer, your customer's customer, will have access to those recordings to listen to and provide coaching or even to use in reporting for reporting purposes and analytics. We also support conferencing. So let's say I'm talking with Katie and I happen to know that Jared knows a lot about what Katie's needing, which is that override so she can shop. And so I can conference him in to help. I could also transfer Katie to him so that he could really provide that white glove treatment. And because we're so tightly integrated with Salesforce, when that call comes to Jared, the same screen pop will happen for him too. So it's keeping the agent productive, helping Jared with what he quickly pick up and help Katie, all inside Salesforce, no pivoting away. You don't have that messy slide that Aldo showed us earlier. It's all in one place. Now, I also notice if I come in here and I see that Katie has had some cases in the past, because this is Salesforce, I have one view of the customer. So I can come in here and take a look at that case, see any history. So you can see we've had some calls with Katie. This is all Five9 data that's written inside Salesforce. Now look what's happened. It's also tied the case as well as Katie's record to this call. Very valuable in creating a consistent story of contacts all inside Salesforce for reporting purposes in the contact center. Now, I've helped Katie. She's very happy. I was able to override because of all the power that's in Salesforce. I was able through workflow processes to override so that she can get in to shop. I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, these dispositions, we all know in the contact center, dispositions are very important for knowing how your contact center is performing. In this case, I escalated her case to get her into shopping. So now everything's right here. And let me just show you this. When I click inside here to look at calls, I now have an immediate link to a Salesforce report. I can click in here and look at the history of my conversations with her. And I can see the phone number she dialed. I bring this up. And when I bring this up, you'll see the activity history. Here's that call I just made. And look at all this great Five9 data that we've embedded inside Salesforce. So now the contact center manager can use that to build dashboards and reports. And this is where Canpango comes into value. Canpango has such expertise in Salesforce that they're one of our favorite SIs to go out and build reports and dashboards so that your contact center customers can see their daily performance metrics, all in a pretty view, but here it all is inside Salesforce. Now, so it's kind of quiet on the inbound side, but something that comes in really handy is list sync. So Five9 has automation built in to push contact records or donor records now, because now Katie's a shopper, but Marvin is a donor. And Marvin's come in offering to donate, but he wants to talk to somebody. So he's put in a request. Well, great news. It's quiet right now. So my supervisor is telling me, hey, can you go in and start doing outbound calls? And the moment we do that, that call automatically gets queued. Hang on there. Love the internet. Automatically gets queued up and served to me as an agent. So now I am making those calls out to donors, collecting that valuable revenue and donations that we need as the River West Food Pantry to sustain and help shoppers. Now let's pivot over and look at the supervisor view. So you've seen the agent. In the contact center, you have a supervisor watching over agents like me. And this is where we really bring the value inside Salesforce. If you're a supervisor of a contact center, you still need visibility and control of the contact center experience. So Five9 has installed the utility. We can embed the supervisor view inside Salesforce. This is a dashboard. This is real time. So I have control, visibility and control real time. So we pivot over here. I can see these are my coworkers. They're out there in the field. They're out there in staff. And I can see that they're signed in. Here's John. He's on a call. And as a supervisor, I can go in and monitor. I can listen in. I could barge or whisper. I can move him from one skill to another. So if I see a queue getting busy, I can move him to that skill, and he immediately starts to receive those calls or make outbound calls as soon as he finishes the one he's on. So all that control and power in Supervisor, Five9 Supervisor inside Salesforce. And I also have control to see what campaigns are running. I can stop them, start them, reset them. So it really gives that great power and control to run your contact center as an agent, to provide that great customer experience for the customers, the shoppers and donors calling in, to reach out to those donors and shoppers through outbound. And by the way, not only just automation, but click to call in Salesforce automatically works inside Five9 as well. And then with the supervisor, giving them the control they need while working inside Salesforce to run that contact center and help those agents when they need it most. So that gives you a view of the Five9 integration with Salesforce and Canpango. I'm going to send it off that now. Thank you, Corey and Heather. I'm going to give it back to you for the handoff. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Well, we just want to thank all of our partners for joining today. And thank you for our team of suppliers on the panel. Our success with Canpango, Salesforce, and Five9 has been proven time and time again. So we hope that all of you partners will be able to join in on the success.
Hey, Lauren. Hey, Heather.
Yes.
Hey, before we forget, I totally forgot to mention this. Shame on me. Canpango and Salesforce and Five9, want to remind you, right now, our food pantries are in dire need. We have so many people out there who need help. So if you can, please donate to your local food pantry. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for mentioning that. So anyone can reach out to your Intelisys channel manager, Corey or myself, for an introduction and more information. We hope everyone has a wonderful day.